there was a couple of very, very critical features that I had never managed to bring all together in one space. And one of those is that you have to be 100% clear on why you're coming together. No shades of grey in that. It's very clear why you're coming together. And that why you're coming together has to be transcendent. It has to be up here. If it's not up here, we keep regressing back to our lowest common denominator. And that's where people get into egoic stuff and so on and so forth. So you have to create something that you look at and go, I really want to be part of that. And it's big enough that it stretches everybody. And so that's really important. Very clear. The second part of that is that we had some really basic agreements about how we participated. And I show up assuming that everybody is an adult and they can take responsibility for their actions. And so part of that was everyone... the entry point for participation was really simple. You needed to nominate what you had both the willingness and delight and capacity to bring to BigBlueSky. And you needed to also nominate what you expected in return. That was in a document that we shared with each other. So it was open to all of the team members, and it was also noted that was a changing, living document. So week 1 you might be happy camp sailing and you had 20 hours spare, and week 2 you had a sick child and you had no spare hours, or whatever that looked like. We had people go off to Europe and Bali and all of that sort of stuff. It was like, okay, it's this dynamic space. But also the other side of that is that what I know about human beings is that few people really understand what it means to ask for what they want in return. And so the actual act of doing that and really looking at that and being honest about that and being honest about the changing colour of that, because it will change as things move
What's everyone's
grow.
agenda?
And as we become more successful, it's going to change. People are going to want different things from this. But for you as a participant to say, this is change and I now want that, and let's have that conversation. And then the third component was that every single one of us had a commitment to what we call clean communication, which means that if at any time there was any sort of like charged energy in a relationship, it didn't feel quite right, or it wasn't, that the person that was having that experience was responsible for cleaning that up. So that was, that was kind of the container around which we built it, and
imagine if all business was done in that way.
It was extraordinary.
Collaboration,
and so there was no
honesty.
role. We all just put our hand up for roles. There was no direction, as in you take this, you take that, you take that. It was a very flat structure, so no real hierarchy, and people took complete ownership. So on the day, we had Kylie show up to manage logistics, and she was only there for 2 weeks. Beforehand, and I didn't even think about it.
We didn't, and that's what we said on the day. We did not have to worry.
Didn't worry about it for a second.
So
So my, what I know now is how to do